let you know, we are recording the session so that later you will be able to make reference in case you miss it. A link will be shared with you if you registered. Of course, if you're here because you registered, and a link will be shared with you so that you can go back and make reference. But the best place to be is here when it is live so that you can ask your questions. Just to take you through again, make use of the chat box. If you have a question, drop it on the chat box. We'll be taking questions at the end of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are privileged to have with us Busayo, Madam Busayo. Busayo is the founder and lead consultant at Talent Rendezvous. I hope I said that right. And even if I didn't, when you take the mic, you will say it very well. She is a human resource consulting company focused on providing human resource management solutions to SMEs, that is small, medium enterprises. Since 2017, Talent Rendezvous has had the opportunity of working with different clienteles from oil and gas, retail, healthcare, real estate industry, just to mention a few. Busayo is an experienced and seasoned HR professional with over 10 years experience in human resource management. Her experience has spans across several business industries. She's known for her multidimensional skill, business acumen, resourcefulness, excellent service delivery, and dedication to business growth and sustainability. I hope you're following so that even as you ask your questions, you align them. She is, ladies, she's a powerhouse. She is a pioneer graduate of Covenant University with a bachelor's degree in international relations. She also obtained a master's degree in human resource management from the University of Surrey, United Kingdom. She is an associate member of Chartered Institute of Personnel Development, that is CIPD. That's an organization in the UK. And also she's a member of Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. She serves as a member of the board of directors for the following companies: 360 Degrees Sales Limited. She's a board member there, ladies and gentlemen. 360 Distinct Real Estate Limited and K-Lab Rental Services. In 2016 to 2018, she served as the Vice President of the Career Development Group of Covenant University Alumni Association. During her service, she had the privilege of organizing career fair events, career mentoring sessions, and other career services in or for the association. She's passionate about human capital development. Her area of specialty involves strategic management, recruitment, talent management and development, that is talent management and development, employee engagement, organizational structure, performance management, among others. She's the creator of Workplace Readiness Program, which is a corporate social responsibility initiative aimed at preparing fresh graduates or job seekers for the workplace. When Busayo is not working, she enjoys traveling, organizing parties, and spending quality time with family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our speaker of the day. And just before I hand over to her, my name is Purity Kinanu. I am an HR professional equally. I'm also a security professional, and I am a certified coach by Gallup. That is a global certified coach by Gallup. And I enjoy what I do When we are talking about talent, when we are talking about the employee life cycle, you will find me in those discussions. So allow me to hand over the mic to Madam Busayo so that she can take it up. Over to you, Busayo. Busayo, you're on mute. You can please unmute.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone, depending on where you are in the part of the world. I want to first use this opportunity to thank Purity and the Career Reframing Series team for this opportunity to come onto this platform, right? To speak to this amazing audience about how to successfully navigate a career transition. My name is Busayo Fakolujo, as Purity has introduced me. My humble self, I'm an HR professional, and I also run a HR consulting firm, helping SMEs to, provide career support, help them in training, and also creating HR structures for organization. So let's dive into the topic for today. I know that everyone is interested and excited to hear about this topic, especially now that the world is changing very fast, especially since the incident of the COVID-19 pandemic. And since then, there's been a technological change, there's been economic change as well. So many changes have occurred, and that way has also affected career. Right now, the way career changes is not like then in the past, right? So these are areas we're going to be talking about today regarding career transition. How do I transition? That's always a topic, right? And first, we need to understand the meaning of career transition. It's simply the process of discovering and pursuing a new career. To me, I would see career transitioning as a journey. So first of all, so that I'm going to take you this presentation as a journey. And so therefore, I need you to carry the perspective of understanding that career transitioning is a journey. So don't expect that, okay, the day I decide I want to change a job, the next day I want to see myself in that new job. That is not going to be possible. So it's going to take stages, it's going to take time to achieve all of that. And if you look at researches, if you understand conversations, you would experience where some people are using career transitioning, and you also hear about career change. Now, both are related. One is just broader than the other. Like I explained, career transitioning is a journey. You can transition from a particular role to another, or a particular industry to another, right? Why a career change is completely changing your profession entirely. Probably as you were a HR professional and you want to change to project management, that is a career change. So you would definitely always see those words used interchangeably. They're related, but they also play different roles, just to give that clarity to that. Also, I need you to understand that based on statistics, especially within a particular stage of your life, because like I explained to you, transitioning is a journey, right? Between 18 to 39, you see a lot of people changing jobs. If you notice, they didn't change career, they changed jobs. So about 30% of persons change jobs. So moving from one organization to another, or moving from one organization to another industry, but still on that same profession, right? Then you also have 12% at 50 years and beyond. That, that the numbers are reduced at 50 and beyond. You're looking at creating legacy, you're looking at setting up your own business and all of that. That's one stage of your career. Another 21% of workers age 40 to 49 are considered a career, they want to change their career. And I would tell my story at some point in this conversation, so you would understand what I'm talking about, right? Okay, so also still based on statistics again, age and career change. So I just want to also put it out there that it's never too late to change your career. No matter what stage and what age of your life that you're in, it's never too late. You can always change as long as you're being strategic about your movement, as long as you're being clear about what type of change you want to make. And I would go into that. So for young professionals, yes, they're very adventurous at this stage of their life. They want to explore, they want to venture into new things. And right now with Gen Zs, I'm sure HR professionals on this platform, if they're here, they will experience the way, Gen Zs transit so easily and so changing from one organization to another. They're not necessarily changing profession, but they're just changing organizations, right? And why, if you're in your mid-career, you would definitely want to consider a career change. And that's because probably you've been on a particular profession for like 10 years or more, and you may feel like it's no longer fulfilling, or you're not providing impact anymore. And what's that new thing you want to venture in? So we'll go more into that. And at the older professionals that we have on this platform as well, if you're 50 and above, I know at this stage you're looking at your career of what is less stressful, and also trying to plan for post-retirement. So that if you're familiar also that there are some jobs we do that we can't, after retirement stage, we can't continue it. But you can imagine if you, at some point of your career, you create a business, and this is like a lifelong legacy that you can continue even to your last breath. So, and you can pass it on to generations to come. So it just depends on what stage of your career that you're in. Now, why a career transition? So you want to understand that, okay, we're talking about this, but why? And knowing the why is very important. This is the beginning of your change. If you know the reason why you want to change, if you understand the reason why you want to change either your industry, or why you want to change your role, or why you want to even change your profession, that would help a lot on this journey of transition. So why career transition? So for different people, it differs. My why for change is different from yours. So for some, it could be personal and career growth. You might feel like, oh, you're not growing where you currently are, or you feel like you've attained the highest cadre on this particular role or profession, and you need to move and you need to grow, right? Some is for financial increase. Probably you need more money to pay, you meet your satisfaction at every level. And also better work-life balance. It differs from others, as in what is that preference to you. Another is job satisfaction. If you feel like, oh, I need my job to be fulfilling, I need my job to create impact, you need to give me joy. My job needs to give me joy every day. Also, some, it could be for global relevance. With the recent trends of migration, and here in Nigeria, what we call JAPA syndrome, right? People now are leveraging on looking at global relevance. If you're currently practicing HR where you are, and you feel like, okay, I'm considering moving to another country, I need to be globally relevant in that country. You also still want to practice your profession there. So that could be another reason why you're considering a transition. Or you could be in a profession right now that is not appealing globally. Take, for example, depending on what it is, if you've done your research about the country, what do you think are the in-demand skill or the in-demand job there? And you feel like, okay, I don't mind pivoting my profession to this new one. So to be globally relevant, and also if you're just interested in seeking something new, a new challenge, maybe where you are, you're already bored, you don't feel the challenge anymore in your current career, then that could also be your why, new challenges. So from this conversation, start beginning to understand, why do I want to change my career, or why do I want to transition? Why do I want to leave the organization? Start developing your why from now. All right, there are types of career change, right? There's voluntary and there's involuntary. And voluntary in the sense that you took that deliberate steps or action to make this change. And this could be maybe skill or functional wise. That means you want to move from being an HR professional to a project management professional, or your job level. You feel that, okay, I don't want to be a team member anymore. I'm aspiring to be a team lead or to be a manager right now in my career level. It could also be industry. Okay, I feel I want to do fintech right now. I've been in manufacturing for so many years, maybe 5 years, and I feel fintech, will give me more challenge, and I'll have opportunity to explore. It could also be professional for some, just like myself, where maybe you were in paid employment and you want to transition into entrepreneurship. That is another stage of change. So I would come to that. Then also geographically, if you are considering moving from Africa to other parts of the world, that's another type of change that would occur for you. Now, for involuntary, this is a situation whereby you might not be considering change per se. You might just feel like, okay, I'm fine on this job to an extent, or probably you're not really fine, but you can't really place what is wrong with my current job, right? But you just keep doing it, you keep loving it, and suddenly there's a layoff. Probably the company cannot keep it's not more sustainable. So this is an involuntary change. So due to that layoff, you had no other choice than to change your career or to change your company, industry, or wherever you're working. That change will happen maybe due to layoff. Also redundancy. You might find out that maybe for a particular role, take for example, maybe a customer service role, and now with AI coming to stay, probably that role has just been rendered redundant. And because you want to keep your being relevant, you need to change, right? So that is an involuntary change that has occurred. Then dead end jobs, that is, you go every day, but you don't see growth, you don't see advancement, you're just going for the sake of going, or just going for the sake of the money. You don't feel like this place, I'm growing in any way. You've reached your peak. Yeah, that is another change that would happen. So this, I'll call this maybe like a forceful change or under involuntary. Okay, now change is an action and transitioning is a journey, right? Sometimes fear happens a lot because change is constant. Some of us, we are afraid of this change. We like our comfort zone. We like to just remain there and hope that a miracle will happen with our jobs and with our careers, right? So what are those common fears that happen? And I want you from this conversation today to conquer those fears and take it away and, take that risk of changing, right? If you no risk, no gain, right? And change is about taking risk. So fear of the unknown, just not sure of what the future would bring to you when you change your career, or when you move to a new organization, or you're just comfortable, or you just dread the whole application process or the whole looking for job process, and you just have that fear of unknown, right? Please take that away. Then fear of family commitment. For those who want to move to another country, or that want to, take a more challenging role or career that maybe they are afraid of, oh, this could deprive me of having time for my family or creating that work-life balance, or I won't have that privilege of seeing my family like before. I think you should also take that fear away. Your why will be your motivating factor. And somehow, everything that are precious around you will fall in place, right? As long as your goal is smart, as long as you have a positive mind towards what you want to achieve, because you're literally just creating your future with all of these that we're saying, right? Another thing is fear of financial capacity. So some people might feel like, oh, if I consider changing my career right now, I might be starting from entry level, probably my salary, you're earning well, and there might be a pay cut due to the change. So some people might be afraid of that. Another thing is you could have fear of, leaving this job for a new one. What if I don't get it? Or what happens to my pay and all of that? I will also address that part in this conversation. So also remove that fear away. And fear of failure. Some people are just like, okay, this new profession that I'm looking at, what if it doesn't work out? Why don't I just keep doing what I know and, do that till, Jesus comes, right? Or, you need to always do so many things. You're a bundle of talents, you're a bundle of abilities and skills. You need to be able to take adventure, take risk, and do so many things, especially now that, the world is just really changing and you need to keep being relevant as times change as well, right? So let's conquer our fears, nothing to be afraid of. Now, when we've talked about why, we've talked about the common fears. Now, at what point do I change? Do I change my career? At what point? And that's another question that a lot of people struggle with, that, okay, I'm just starting. Is it the right time for me to change? I've been on this role for 5 years, 10 years. Is this the right time for me to move? Is this the right time for me to start a business? Is this the right time for me to relocate and start another career, right? So you need to consider what are the factors that would be able to tell you that, okay, I think it's time for your change. So number one is when you feel no impact, no fulfillment at what you're doing. Your career is something you wake up to every day to do, right? This is a profession that you spend most of your hours doing. Apart from staying with family also, this is like your daily living, right? So at some point of your life, when you feel like, oh, my career, I'm not making impact, I'm not feeling fulfilled, I just feel stuck, maybe that could be a sign for your change, right? And also when you feel like, oh, on this job, I'm not learning, I'm not growing, I've been doing this for 5 years, I don't see progression, there's nothing new for me to learn. I feel, what I'm doing is just monotonous. That could also be time for a change, right? Also, maybe your pay can't make up for your dissatisfaction. That is, okay, what you're earning now is not able to meet your needs anymore. That could also be a sign to start thinking of change and also taking actions towards it. You could feel bored at your work as well. You go every day and you're not excited to go to work. That could also be a sign, because you need to enjoy what you do. This is where you spend most of your hours. So you need to enjoy your work, right? Also, if you dread going to work on a daily basis, that could be maybe if your job requires you to go daily and you're looking for something that is more flexible, depending on what your preference is and what your experience that you're having at that moment, you need to start checking, okay, what are the things I'm experiencing that could be as a sign for my time for change. Now, if you feel unappreciated or undervalued at work, that is another thing, right? And also, let me also put this out there, that there are sometimes that it could just be a change of your job. It's not necessarily change of your career. So you need to understand, which one do you want? Is it just that, okay, maybe this job, I need to move to another company to still perform this profession. I love this profession. I'm doing HR. It's just about changing my company, right? And another thing is, okay, you don't want to do HR anymore, and you feel project management is the next big thing for you, and you see 10 years, 20 years viability of being in project management, then that could be another thing. So you need to actually understand, is it job you want to change, or is it your career? So differentiate that. Then you desire a different career, right? And which is just what I just talked about now, a career path. You want to change your career path totally. So you need to identify what is it that you really want to change about you. Your job is having a negative impact on your personal life. That is probably your current job is not giving you that time to show commitment to your family, or you're not able to have that effective work-life balance. That could be also a sign for change. Now, we've talked about the why, we've talked about the when. Now we need to understand, okay, how do I even go about this transition here, right? And which is that's a very crucial question a lot of people ask, that, okay, how do I go about it? I've tried my own way of it, but I'm not still getting it. One first important thing to do is that you need to do a self-assessment. Before your change starts, you need to evaluate yourself. You need to assess yourself, right? You need to be clear about what you want. So in terms of your motivation, why do you want to transit? Why do you want to change, right? You need to look into that. What is your main motivation? Because why? Your motivation is you're going to be your driving force all the way. So even when you're experiencing challenges, you're experiencing loopholes here and there, your why will keep you going. Because I told you that transitioning is a journey, and there will be going to be challenges, and you need to be patient all through that. You need to be resilient as well on this kind of journey. This is not a one-off thing, like today I'm doing project management, and you just feel like the next day you get your project management job. It's not like that. There's going to be a lot of work involved. So you also assess your goals. So your long-term goals and your short-term goals regarding this new change. Then your interests and values, are they in alignment with your new change, right? So that's on self-assessment. Then you also need to evaluate your skill and assess it. What are those current strengths that I have? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses, right? And what are those transferable skills that I have that I can, transfer to this new role? And I'll give an example. So for example, I'm a HR professional, and I want to change to or transit to a project management role. I feel, okay, it's just an example. Project management is viable, for the future. I need to look at what are those skills that I have currently that I can transfer into project management, right? Definitely, you have to have a good leadership skills, budgeting, right? Risk management skills, people management, good organization skills, because you're going to do a lot of planning. And those are skills that I have acquired in my HR profession, right? And I'm taking it into my project management profession. Now, what are those skills that I don't have? That is the weakness part now in my HR profession that is needed for project management. Take, for example, software. So the software for project management is different from that of HR. That I will need to learn. So I've already acknowledged that, okay, I don't have this project management software skill. I need to know how to use it. And there are several types, and that, it also differs from HR. So I'm being honest with myself. So this journey is about being clear and honest about what you have as your strengths, what you have that you can transfer to this new role, and what you don't have but is needed for your new role. So when you do that clarity, it helps. So I'll call it also a SWOT analysis, depending on what you call it, right? Then we move to research and network. Information is gold. So you want to move into a new career, you need to do a lot of research. You need to find information. Finding information both online and offline till you are in that desired career, right? And so in the midst of doing your research, you also need to network. You also need to interact with people in that profession. Get to understand what is this profession about. As glamorous as your desired profession that you're looking at, you need to also understand what is that daily activity that will be required in this new role. Do I have it? Is it something I can do, right? Do I have the required skills? What are those skills that I have that I can put in there? Also, you connect through LinkedIn as well. Start participating in conversations relating to either project management or cybersecurity or digital marketing, depending on what you have interest for, or AI. If it's AI is your interest, or data analysis, start participating in conversations, start understanding what they're saying, and then start interacting with people in that profession. Just understand. And if you need to, because from your connection with these people, you can also get opportunities. I know that there are sometimes that these jobs are advertised, and there are some jobs that are not advertised. And through networking and connecting, you get that information. Then you need to prepare for your transition plan. Now, in this transition plan, you first, you need to consider your finances. Now, there's a part where I talked about fear of financial capacity. When you're considering a transition, you need to save minimum between 6 to 12 months. Save some money so that for days whereby during your transition stage, funds are not coming in. Take, for example, as an employee, there was a time in my career I was an employee and I wanted to transition into entrepreneurship, right? And definitely at some point of my career, while I was working, I had to start doing 1 or 2 gigs, especially for the weekend, to test my entrepreneurship skills and also my consulting skills. So for that day of transition, right? And I have to save. So you need to save some money, because if for example, you're venturing into business, it's not the day you start business, you start making profits, right? Or you start making money. You need to have something to fall back, but just in case maybe you don't make sales, you don't feel bad, or people are not paying for your services at that early stage of your business, you don't feel upset, or you don't feel like, oh my God, I need to go back to paid employment. Entrepreneurship is not for me. I can't deal without money for one day. So you need to save, and you need to also, apart from saving, you also need to prepare your resume in light of your new profession. Start picking out, start identifying skills that you can transfer to this, and you need to highlight it on your CV, on your new CV, highlighting those skills that you have. And even in your cover letter, you need to state, okay, why do you want to transit? Okay, you want to identify that, okay, my background is in HR, but with project management, I have some skills that I've acquired over time that will be relevant for my project management skills, right? And you state it there, because every recruiter wants to see what value would you be bringing to the table. They understand, okay, and that's why no matter what stage of your career is, they want to constantly see value. What value are you bringing, right? You need to carry a mindset that, what if I don't get a training on this job? What personal self-development have I done on my own that I think would be of value to that organization? So you have to highlight that on your CV, because your CV is like your marketing tool where you market yourself. Apart from that, you also create your goals, right? During this, your transition plan, give yourself a timeline. When do you think by now I should get the job? Also, look at those skills that you don't have. This is the time that you will now begin to attend training, start developing yourself. If you need to do certification for some profession before you can practice, start getting those certification as well. This happens during your transition plan. So you're still in your paid employment, or you're still in your current role, but you are also putting things in place for your new role, right? Be it training, be it preparation of your CV, be it your finances, whatever it is that would enhance that would just make your transition very smooth. start putting it in place under transition plan, right? Then also be ready to embrace change and challenges during the transition journey. I already explained to you that it could be challenging, especially when transitioning. So you need to be prepared and you need to be patient. You also need to be resilient, right? And be persistent. Don't give up so easily at 1 or 2 attempts. You're like, oh no, this is not for me. Maybe I should just stay where I am and stay in my comfort zone. But just always remember that no risk, no gain. So if you just want to keep staying in your comfort zone, you know it could be boring sometimes being there. Then also get a mentor and career or a career coach. So you need a support system. Sometimes the transitioning could be lonely. I'll give you for my own example. When I was transitioning from paid employment to entrepreneurship, it was quite a lonely journey. Entering into, for paid employment, you go to work, you meet you meet your colleagues, you interact, you share, you rub minds together. But entrepreneurship, especially probably you don't have colleagues or friends that are actually in that space you are playing, right? So it was actually lonely for me when I started entrepreneurship. I was like, can I be rubbing minds with regarding challenges on consulting, trying to get clients and all of that? But I didn't give up. I kept at it, even to the extent that till one of my colleagues, Abimbola as well, when she came into the entrepreneurship journey as well, we started rubbing minds together and it became interesting, right? So it's going to be challenging, but you just need to be ready to embrace what comes with it and just stay persistent. So my why was my motivating factor, that I moved from paid employment to entrepreneurship. And I'm like, okay, my why was my motivation every day. Were there times I felt like going back to paid employment? Yes. But at the same time, I was like, you need to revisit your why so that, you keep going at it. And, with a mentor in place, that will help. Also a career coach. Sometimes we want to change, but we don't know what profession we want to change into. So, that's another opportunity. You can talk to me, talk to teams of career reframing series. Yeah, a team of career coach. They can guide you and advise you professionally on how to pivot seamlessly and purposefully as well. And you also need a mentor, someone who is in that space where you want to practice, so that they can always give you guidelines and you can always share how you feel. That, oh, probably maybe you've not gotten a job yet. You think, so that there's that ginger. You need the ginger every day. Apart from your why, you need someone who's giving you that push to keep going and not to give up and to keep staying through till your day of reward comes. And then increase your visibility. Yes, you want to change. You can't just change in isolation, or you can't just change hiding. You need to be visible. Also on your LinkedIn, you need to state it there on your LinkedIn profile or your personal website profile, saying the profession you want to transition to, right? What you currently have and what you're doing towards it, how you're interacting with people, let people see you. When there are conversations around your area of new interest or new profession, you are communicating there, you are contributing as well there. Even in events, you are visible, right? People are seeing you, and on your LinkedIn, you can also state your new profession that you are looking at, aspiring project manager or whatever it is. Let them begin to see that, oh, you actually want to transition. And when there are opportunities, and you need to, with visibility, you stay top of mind for people. If I'm not seeing you, if people are not seeing you, you can't be top of mind, right? So they need to see you. You need to increase your visibility online so that change, you'll be top of mind. And when there are opportunities or information that'll be relevant to you, they would share with you, right? Okay, I've in the course of this conversation, I've shared my story, how I transitioned from paid employment to entrepreneurship, and also currently, I provide HR consulting services. I'm also looking at another profession to add to what I am doing currently, and I'm building myself. I'm also on my transition stage, right? For me, I like to explore different things, right? And at some point of my career too, I can feel bored. That is me, right? And I will want to add some spice to what I do. Because for me, I think impact is very paramount. So right now, I'm also on a transition journey, even with entrepreneurship. So what other services, what other profession can I give value with, right? And this is why this topic is very passionate to me. I want to thank the team for this. If you have any question, or so that we could start dissecting them. Thank you so much, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Busayo. That was so insightful. I've got my notebook here. I was taking notes. I didn't just come to be seen, I came to learn, and I hope everybody else did the same. Thank you for that. I like the way you have taken us through the whole journey, including sharing your story here and there. So that is very good. Ladies and gentlemen, for sure, a transition. If you check me out on my profile somewhere, you will see that I have transitioned a lot. Busayo has transitioned. Abimbola, you can see her on video. She's part of Career Reframing series. If you check her out, she has transitioned. We are talking from experience, jumping from one area to the other, not jumping actually, feeling the urge to be able to do more, to learn more, to get more experience. So, and on that journey, thank you, Busayo, for telling us that we need some ginger. That journey can be lonely sometimes. So if you're planning for it, don't walk alone. Don't walk alone. Always find a friend that you can share with. At this particular moment, we would like to open up and take your questions. Let me check whether there are any questions on the chat. Thanks, Busayo, for your presentation. Insightful and relatable. Yeah, some comments there, Busayo, for the team that is able to relate or relating with what you are speaking about. Ladies and gentlemen, do you have any questions? I don't see. Did I see? Let me just check. Okay. Very good. It means you have delivered. You have delivered. I saw some questions at the registration point. So if I want to believe a lot has been answered, I want to be anonymous. If I'm not sure what career to transition, how can I get help? Okay. So if I don't know what career I want to transition to or into, how can I be assisted, or how can I go about that? Busayo, maybe you can answer that. I know you've talked about the SWOT analysis and all that, but I'll allow you to answer that. Can I take another one so that you answer too? Okay. How do you overcome the fear of the unknown when you want to transit? I think you mentioned that. You can take those two. I'll be reading for you the other two.
Okay. For the first question, right? Like I earlier explained, you need to do a self assessment. I know some of us are not so good with SWOT analysis, or actually identifying what our interest or what our values are, right? You might not be able to say that as into yourself. You might need maybe an accountability partner, or you seek a career coach that can help you, carve out this new profession that you desire. So this career coach will help you identify your interests, what are your current abilities, what are those things you enjoy doing, what are your passions, right? And from there, a career professional, a career coach can help you carve out a new career for you. And Purity, Abimbola, even myself, we are career coach and professionals, and we can help regarding that as well. So if you want to contact Career Ephemery series, so to help you regarding that, but you know, you need help. If you can't do the SWOT analysis by yourself, you need that honest feedback that would help you. Yeah, so a professional would be a good example. And how do you overcome fear of the unknown? Well, that you need to for you to overcome fear of the unknown, that is very, very crucial, right? You need to first of all know what you have, right? Know who you are as a person, right? And also you need to begin to do your research, right? First research, if depending on your preferred career, research what are they talking about this profession? What's going to happen in 10 years, 20 years to this profession? It's going to be obsolete. What's going to happen? And also look at the trends. What's the trend happening right now, right? You need to overcome that fear just by having quality information. If you have information, you don't need to be afraid of anything, right? That the future is here to stay, and you just need to be equipped with the right information to be able to conquer the activities that are happening in the future, right? And which is very important. So that is how to overcome your fears. So, and also if you need to talk to someone, please do, you know, have a mentor, speak to your mentor or a career coach or an accountability partner as well. If you're doing this journey all alone, it could be challenging, it could be stressful on you, and there will be so much anxiety. But, you know, sharing how you feel with, you know, your mentor or career coach or an accountability partner, right, would go a long way for you. And that way, you know, you would be able to conquer every fear that you feel. Like I gave an example concerning myself. When I said, okay, it's time to transition into entrepreneurship, did I have the fear of unknown? I wasn't just sure what the future holds, but I was just willing to take that risk, right? And like I would say, risk, no gain. I was just willing to take the risk that whatever comes with it, I feel that at that period, I'm going to learn a lot and I'm going to gain a lot from it. And I'll tell you that from entrepreneurship, I've had the privilege of meeting different clients. I've had to, you know, engage with so many different types of people. And again, I've had to build myself constantly, you know, or in the course of my profession as an entrepreneur. So to me, it's an exciting one. I think because you also need to have a positive mindset on this journey. So once you have a positive mindset, fear will eliminate away. So what is your mindset saying? Are you all about it's not going to work? People are not getting jobs. Many people that transitioned, they're still applying. What is your mindset saying? If you say that, okay, this new role I'm doing is going to be relevant for the future, I'm going to get jobs from it, I have what it takes, I have the value, I have the capacity to provide value in this profession, then the world is more than your oyster, right? Thank you.
The world is more than your oyster. The higher the risk, ladies and gentlemen, the higher the risk, the higher the returns. So sometimes you just have to take a risk, but you have to take also calculated risks. And I think that is what we hear Busayo talking about. Allow me to take another question very quickly. We do appreciate your patience, but it's good for us to learn as we take our lunch. Jumping from one job to another may portray one negatively during interviews. How can one handle questions related to this effectively during interviews. We are not focusing on interviews today, but it touches on what we are talking about because it's a transition. So Busayo will be speaking on that briefly, and possibly maybe it's an area we'll discuss sometime in depth. That's a very good question. There's also another very good question here. If one is to transition from a paid employment to consultancy, but within the same profession, can you be available for guidance, including doing a business profile? Yes, there are contacts there. There are contacts there that are on the screen. You can be able to drop your email there. And if it's something that we can be able to support you, of course, we will be able to do that. Through our network, we can also be able to link you up if it's where we can't, but we can be able to discuss that. Let me take another one. It was such an insightful presentation despite joining late. Better late than never, Yvonne. So no problem, don't worry about that. I need so much of this. I currently hate, and hate is in capital letters, what I am doing, considering I am just here to pay bills. I am ready to switch. I also need a mentor for real. We hear you, Yvonne. Many of us have been there. Many are there. So don't walk alone. That will also be answered by Busolo. Let me just check. Okay, Busolo, you can answer those two questions.
Okay. The first one is about interview. How do you address the issue of job hopping, right? Yes, this is, I will talk from a recruiter's point of view. When we see CVs of maybe a candidate staying on a particular job just 4 months and moving to another 5 months, another again, like within 1 year, for example, the person has done 3 jobs. You need to understand from a recruiter's point of view that what is this person actually looking for? Why are you been moving, right? Sometimes you might have the opportunity during the interview to explain yourself, and sometimes you might not. From just looking at the CVs, some candidates might be privileged to be called upon for interview, while some would not. But first of all, as a candidate, why they change? Why they short-term change, right? Is it that it's not the job you want and you just eject out? As in, after entering, done an onboarding, worked for 1 month, it's not like it, I think I need to go. You get another one again. Okay, after onboarding again, 2-3 months, you've seen it, you're not feeling it. So in as much as a candidate, that is what you want. Like I'm still yet to look for that moment on my job, right? It also doesn't speak well. So why are you moving from, why are you changing jobs, right? So you need to be strategic about your change of jobs, right? And again, it's not that our moment may not happen within 3 months of joining. It could take time. So I think I would advise that the person needs to be patient. And if you're privileged to attend interview where such a question is asked, that, okay, why did you spend 3 months here? Why did you spend 4 months here? You should strategically answer that question. You need to clearly let them understand what is it that why you had to stay there. Could it be that your value in that place was for a short time? Let them understand so that you don't also portray yourself as a job offer. You don't want to say that, oh, it's not because I'm not feeling the place, so I decided to go. It doesn't speak well, because another recruiter will be looking at it that if you can spend 3-4 months, or you could do 3 jobs within a year, when you come to my organization, there could be a probability of that as well. So hence why recruiters are always trying to understand why this change. Why are you moving? Why did you move from this place? Why did you just spend 4 months here? Why did you spend 5 months here? They want to understand the why, so that they could see that, okay, when you come to this organization, would you do the same right? Because every candidate a recruiter is looking for, they're looking for who is going to be in alignment with their long-term goal to an extent, right? But you also have your personal objective, what you want to do, right? But there has to always be that alignment, and your alignment should not be for a short period of time. Shouldn't be 2-month alignment or 3-month alignment, because the company is going to invest in you as a candidate. So they want to be sure that their investment is going to be worth it, right? So you need to always be strategic, and also putting that on your CV. You must be able to explain and defend it clearly and strategically, so that it also doesn't affect your future prospects in getting jobs, right? Then also for a participant that hates what she currently does, right? You can speak to any of us just to understand what if it's that you hate the job or you hate the career. So we need to first understand, what do you actually hate and why do you hate it, right? So you can speak to any of us, and from there we could help give clarity to what would work for you and that desired career that will give you that wow, an exciting moment. And instead of hate, you will now love that career. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a feedback form. It's always good to ask for feedback, you know. Wherever you go, if someone gives you feedback, take it positively. It will help you to improve. And even for us, we are asking you to share with us feedback. There's a link on the chat box. It will take you 2 or 3 minutes at most to just say something, to give us feedback, so that next time when we meet here, simply same time, we will be able to answer or to have improved on some of the things that you'd like. On that one also, give us positive feedback if there is. Also, we do appreciate positive feedback. It will help us. So the others is just a lot of amazing words for you, Busayo, and for the session. It was an amazing discussion. Yes, thank you. Insightful. It was insightful. I think overall we are getting that kind of feedback that people have been able to learn. The ones who are able to join us have been able to learn, to challenge themselves, and also be able to find a better way of preparing for a transition. Don't just transition without a plan. I think that has been said. Don't wake up one day and just leave. Make a calculated move. Just a moment. Okay, at this point now, we have taken the questions on the chat. Allow me to give 2 people an opportunity to go off mute and ask a question. Because of time, we will just do 2, please. 2, if you have a question, thank you, Grace. If you have a question that you want to ask, we're giving you an opportunity to go off mute. And if there is no question still, that is still okay. You're asking whether you joined late, better late than never, and you're asking whether that you'll be able to have this recording. Yes, you will receive the recording. You will be able to view it. If you registered because you did, that's why you're here.